All right, here we go. So before we'll start, just a quick reminder. So for people who live in LA, tomorrow we are having a meetup. So the company who's hosting our meetup is Try Market. It's my current company. So there I will present our mobile automation kind of like a stack and which tools we're using for it and how we are doing that. And also there will be one more presenter from Tinder. So should be fun. Well, if you want to join, just go to this link and please RSVP here. So you will be like, I mean, you still will be able to come in and join. Like there's like no strict list of people that we're inviting, but still, so it will be easier for us to count how many people are going to join. All right, so it was the first part. So the second thing is, so this is our sprint board. I still not see many people finishing their automation task from the previous sprint. Just wanted to make sure you guys still on track.
Yes, I'm speaking on behalf of the second team. This week, Scrum Master. So we have half of the team doing finishing their tests and probably being ready to push their commits to the repo in their local branches for our internal code review. So we decided at this point to first make an coherent effort to make those tests running for those who already are working on them, and for those who didn't have chance yet, we'll be simplifying the test cases to enforce test implementation.
Okay. So do you guys still feel that you're on track and you'll be able to finish it?
We are borderline.
Yeah. Someone needs to mute.
Yeah. So we are borderline. If we don't have any progress on that thing by the end of the next day, so probably we are running in a very bad position for that.
All right. So what about other teams? Do you guys? So Nadia, you're on team 2, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So what about the team 1 and team 3? Do you guys still on track? Anyone? Maybe Scrum Master wants to speak?
I think team 3 is a little bit behind, I would say, and won't be able to, well, we'll try to do our best to automate our test case and push them. So we're like actually working on it. But to be realistic, I think we are a little bit like behind. So we'll do our best.
Okay. Yeah, just try to finish at least the previous homework. Like try to at least automate 5 test cases, like even like without refactoring. Only after that start to do refactor, because otherwise like it will be, I mean, you will put more work, but you won't deliver. So you will like put yourself in a harder situation than you are right now. All right, so is there like anything else, guys, that you want to talk about before we'll start? Like maybe do you have like any blockers or anything?
I guess we have one blocker, so it's like technical blockers, how to pick their random element from carousel.
Random element?
We don't want to start with particular URL because the tree, for example, can disappear in the future, and we want to do some kind of smart logic to pick up something from this carousel, random stuff, or just something which is belongs to their particular group.
So like which carousel? You mean in the homepage?
No, it's on the PLP page, for example.
PLP page.
And here we have like accommodation, activity, and food section. We want to pick up something random from accommodation, something random from activity, and something random from food.
Okay, so are you guys like testing PLP or are you testing a PDP itself?
We testing PDP, but to navigate to PLP, we have to choose something.
Yeah.
And we don't want to stick with, for example, first one, hotel on where Rivington, and test this PDP page, which belongs to the particular hotel of Rivington tile in PLP. And also we have the carousel in there, actually in the PDP page as well.
Carousel and PDP page as well.
Yeah, it's related to pictures only.
Features only.
Pictures.
Pictures. Okay.
Yeah, somewhere. Maybe not. Yeah, you see.
I see. Okay. So here's two things that I want to mention. Well, first of all, so you guys have to deal with real data, right? I mean, it's kind of like data from staging, but it's still kind of real data, right? So there's usually like how it's done in the companies, like usually for testing perspective, they are creating a testing test data for, let's say, like testing a PDP or like any other like testing data. So like you won't be able to depend on the data that's on there. But like here we don't have like a testing data yet, so I think it's safe to say that this like hotels, they won't be changed because until like our project will be done. Yeah, I can like double check with them, maybe with Dennis, like how often they're like changing their data. But we can say like from this point, we should be safe to say like use like any of the provided data here. It's
direct links. You mean direct links?
Yeah, and here,
okay.
And also second reason why you should use the direct links. So if you're using a PDP, right? So you should be focused only on this page, basically. I mean, maybe there will be some cases when you will need to check PLP as well. I mean, I don't know. Let's say.
For example, we want to make sure we are on the right place. When we are on PLP page selected like Hotel of Rivington, we want to make sure it's still hotel on Rivington. So we are comparing the name, price, and location and rating. But rating it's not accurate, I guess. It's a different question.
Here's a question to you. Like, let's say if you're on PLP, right, and you see Hotel of Rivington on PLP page, and if you're clicking on it, and you need to verify like Hotel on Rivington for like PDP is present. Do you feel like this case is related to PDP or PLP? Which functionality you're checking here?
It's I wouldn't say it's like strictly related to PLP or PDP. It's related to both, and actually it's related to navigation.
I mean,
we're checking. We are selected. I'm selecting the particular link, and I want to make sure I'm on the correct place.
I see. I got your point. Yeah. So basically, let's say if I'll be on PDP, right? Let's say if I'll have any links here, which like direct me back to PLP, and in this PLP, like I wanted to check if this hotel is present. This will be kind of functionality of PDP, right?
Correct.
For your particular situation, it's still part of PLP because this trip is present on PLP, right? And it's actually configured in PLP. Like after you click on it, it should open the PDP for the same trip. So basically, this case more related to PLP, not to PDP.
Okay.
Yeah, does it make sense?
Yes, it makes sense, but it was my question in the Saturday lesson related to how to plan.
Yeah, it's a good case. It's a good case, but yeah, I would still leave it as a part of PLP. And here's the second thing, why you should go straight to the link, right? Because if you let's say you have a 20 of test cases, right? And in it 20 test cases for PDP, right? And let's say if on each of these you will need to go to PLP, let's say you will need to scroll, you will need to click on this one, and only after that you will landing here. There is a kind of maybe a risk to get your tests more flaky. They maybe some network issue delay or something else, and you will be more dependent on the data that's loading here. I mean, let's say if we will have an issue on PLP, right, which won't, because of that, we won't be able to open any PDPs. Let's say just one bug, right? PDPs are not opening in the PLP page. Let's say if I click here, it won't open. That means basically your 20 of your test cases will be blocked because you won't be able to navigate to that, right? Because you're kind of having dependency on that. So in your case, it's better to remove all the dependencies and get to the state as easier as possible. It will make your life more easier, I would say.
Okay, thank you. It's a very good point. So
yeah. Once you will, let's say, once you will work in real automation tools in a company, and if you will design your test like that, it will be really hard. It will be really painful for you. Later debug it, and even though let's say even if it will still work, but let's say they will change the locator for this element, right? Let me. Well, service title, right? I mean, let's say if you're I don't know, if they will decide to change a service title to any other class name, because maybe they are redesigning their PLP. So that's mean all your tests will be also fail, but there's actually no issue. It's just one locator change, right? I mean, yeah, so anything like that. Just make your test more independable as much as possible.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
So as that, you advise us to directly navigate to that hotel. Let's say if we take accommodation section, so then we just choose any hotel and just start from there, our test cases?
Yes, if you're testing PDP, yes.
Okay.
But that's not the case for PLP. Let's say if you're testing PLP, you must make sure that's all the listed trips here, that you should be able to click on that, and PDP should be opened, and PDP for this particular hotel should be opened.
So that means that the test case will be for the specific hotel, right? If we want to test accommodation, let's say.
No, it's so we have a different types of PDP, right? We have a food, we have accommodation.
Yes. Yeah. Let's say if we take accommodation. Yes.
It's safe to say. I mean, it won't be it will be a test case for this particular type of PDP, and any other accommodation related PDPs, they will be the same, right? So they will have the same structure, and they will have the same components. The only difference is their description, basically, their prices, their pictures, and that's it. Well, maybe reviews, but the functionality itself will be the same.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sense, guys?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Any other questions? It's it's not only in automation thing, right? It's basically the basics of the test design and creating a test cases. I mean, if you're like checking like manually, you'll still kind of need to focus on one component. All right, guys. So here was a question about like someone asked me. I mean, several people asked me a question about the merge conflicts. So you guys like work in the same branches, right? Right now, or not yet?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, maybe you are not right now. Maybe you created your local branch and working on that, but later on you will need to merge it to the master, right? And later on you will need to push your code to the. I mean, not to push, but you will definitely face merge conflicts. So let me actually, for those who didn't see it, let me actually emulate one. So let's say, okay, so I am on master branch, right? And I'm creating a branch. Example, well. All right, so I'm created a branch, and so this will be, let's say I have a PDP test, right? And let's say, just me copy that. Okay. So I'm doing it just for demo. So let's say demo PDP test. And okay, I won't include this one because I don't need it. It will be just a step test just to show you how it is. Okay, let's say you are, I mean, you kind of like created a test and you want to push it, right? Just like a simple step test. And yeah, as you can see here, IntelliJ IDE is kind of like highlights all the changes that you've made. So the green one, it basically means you added new lines of codes. So let me go to source tree. So here I see all my changes that I did. You let me discard it, this one. All right. So let me push it to the master. Actually, you know what? Let me. I mean, because it's a demo purposes. For demo purposes, I will push to the master first this change. I mean, I know it's not the right things to do, but I have access, so I can do that. Test commit, right? So, all right, and the last thing I need to push it. All right, git push. Oh, okay, I don't have an access, I think. Yeah, I don't have an access to push straight to master. Okay, that's fine. Let me go here back. And all right, git push. Yeah, this branch doesn't exist. That's why it requires me to add this flag here. Oops, sorry. Well, actually, guys, before I will do that, let me actually create another one. Did I? So this one is from the Saturday. Okay, so never mind. I should be fine. All right. All right, so let me open the GitLab dashboard. All right, and sorry, not this one. Yeah, branches. And interesting. Why I don't see it here? Git status, PDP example 1. Let me open again.
Try to click on show more active branches.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's exactly why. All right. So let me merge my changes. Let me. Okay, so it's saying there's no commits yet, right? So basically, I forgot to include my commit to this branch because I tried to do that through the master, right? Let me open the source tree. Yeah, so what happened is I created a branch, right? I did my changes and then I switched to the master, and like my changes were transferred from the PDP example 1 branch to the master. And then I tried to push it, but I got access denied because I wasn't able to push straight to the master. So right now, like this, my previously created branch, it doesn't have these changes, right? So what I will need to do in this case, let's say I already see this commit, right? So currently I'm here. And this branch, as you can see, it's basically matching the origin master. Origin master, it means like remote branch. And my local branch, it's actually one commit ahead of me, right? But I can still kind of grab these changes to my PDP example 1. To do that, I will need to right click on it and click cherry pick. All right, so I got this commit and I'm here, and now I see my changes back here. So what I will need to do, I will need to push it. All right, so should be fine. Let me. All right, so now I see my test commit is here. Okay, so submit my request and merge it. All right, so now master is updated, right? So let's where is the source tree? It's here. Let's do fetch. And get pull. All right, so well, but I'm still kind of under this, right? Let me go back to this branch that I work on Saturday. So here I still, I don't have my latest changes. Let me open the master. Yeah, let me refresh it. All right, I still don't have I still don't have this change for PDP test. So, and let's say I want to, let's say I want to create new test, right? Let me do the same thing. Just to copy that, add it here, and I will name it as a demo test 2. All right. And let me check here. So here I see my changes. I can also add the commit like test commit 2. And I can actually push it straight. I mean, I probably won't be able to, but let me commit first. And here the git push. All right, so let me go back here. All right, go here, here. All right, this is my branch. And okay, and you see, like what's happened is it's saying there are the merge conflicts, and to do that I need because yeah. So basically, what happened is I worked. Let me open the source tree again. So this is an old branch from our Saturday class, right? And this basically reflected the master before this session. And like in the beginning, I created the PDP example 1. I changed this PDP test file. So I pushed it and I merged it to the master, and master was updated. And then I switched back to my older branch. And I also added the changes here, right? So I kind of like added the second test case without having the latest master, and I push it to the remote branch and try to create the pull request. I mean, I did that, and it identified that there is a merge conflicts, right? So basically, the GitLab telling you that this file was previously modified, and your modifications kind of like having like the older version, and it's kind of like preventing you and your teammates from overriding to each other because you're working on the same files, right? Let's say if I will change another file, like not the PDP test, but like login page, it won't give me this error because let's say my version and the previous version, they are not having the changes in the same files. So how to resolve this merge conflicts? Let me show you how to do it in GitLab. So basically here, you have a UI, and as you can see here, it's saying that this one, the origin, their changes, it's like someone else who pushed their code, and here is your changes, right? And here is a few options that you can do. You can accept, like, use our, like, let's use your version of code and overwrite previous version. Or you can say, let's disregard my changes and let's use the older version, not mine. So in this case, you can click to the users, and it will delete all your changes here. Or let's say, so basically in this case, this is the two separate test cases, right? And I mean, they're not conflicting to each other. They are kind of like, I mean, we need both of them, right? So we need both of them, so we need to modify it manually. let's say this is a edit lines. Yeah, edit lines. Yeah, the cool thing is you can actually change files in a GitLab. Like you don't need to do it in the IntelliJ IDE. So here, what you can do, you can just delete this GitLab messages, identifying what's your changes and what's their changes. All right, so now you can also delete these extra lines if you need. I mean, you can also, I mean, you can basically do anything you want, right? You can like change it, you can like add anything else. And after you're done, you need to commit your merge, right? So basically, here's the auto-populated the merge conflicts message. So it's saying, so basically by this commit, we are just resolved the merge conflict here. So let me commit it. All right, so after updating, you see there's like no more identification that I have a merge conflict. And after that, what I can do, I can just merge it. Right, and now if I open this PDP PDP test file, I will see the both test cases, and none of them are overwritten. So we basically kept both of them. Does it make sense, guys, or it's still kind of hard for you?
Makes sense.
All
I
right.
have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who usually takes care about merge conflicts in companies?
You care, because if you want to resolve it, you won't be able to merge your code to the master. So basically, you need to make sure that your changes won't override someone else's changes, and that's why it's like, I mean, basically you won't be able to do that because if you have a merge conflicts, GitHub or GitLab, they are blocking you to merge it until you will resolve it, right? So it's kind of like keeping it safe. But for you, like to merge it, like let's say if you created pull request, right? And let's say if I approve it, but there might be still merge conflicts, I can say like it's all good, but you need to resolve your merge conflicts. And in this case, like you will need to resolve it. I mean, here in a GitLab, or you can do the same on IntelliJ IDE. Basically, like it's the same logic. You just show you the previous version and your version, and you will need to, like delete something or add something, or like accept both changes and commit it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, again, like maybe you don't have this issue right now, but later on, once you will start to create the pull request, and you will probably face it, because whole of your team should work on the same test class, right? Like let's say if your team work on PDP, you basically should work on the same on this branch, right? That I just create PDP test, and all of you need to add their test cases right here, right? So basically, because I already add some changes here, and because of that, you may have the merge conflicts as well if you got the previous version of master.
Hey guys, just one suggestion. When you create your page names, could you please write not like PDP, but product details page?
Of course. Okay.
Yeah, just to make it more obvious. All right.
Yeah, we're not trying to save, you know, words. It's fine. It's better just to be as clear as possible.
Yep.
So in the future, we're gonna have merge conflicts during pull or push request.
Pull request.
And how do we solve it?
Well, again, just manually, just how I showed you, to just show you. You can like do it in a GitLab, as I showed you, or you can also do it in a IntelliJ IDE here.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So basically, like it will tell you what's the difference, and you can three options. You can like accept previous version and delete your changes, or you can accept your changes and delete the previous version that doesn't match your original master. Or third option, you can like manually change what you want to keep and what you want to remove, and maybe replace, and after that just commit this change and resolve this conflict. So the third option would be most used case for you.
And we use, I prefer using some other tool. It's called P4Merge.
Yeah, but I mean, the full logic, like all of them, like it's the same, basically. Maybe some of them have like pretty UI. I usually do it in an IDE itself. Like, but again, like you can also do it in this small text redactor. All right, guys. Any more questions to me? Actually, what I want to do next, guys, I wanted actually to go over and review someone's PR, right? So, Alex, you already have a PR ready, right? And you assign it to me.
Yes.
Do you mind if we'll do like together in a class?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, by the way, do we have any merge conflicts?
So he doesn't. Apparently.
Okay.
I mean, because he's the first person who creating my profile test.
Yeah, yeah, and don't use class
Yeah.
word. It's obviously that it's class. It's because it's dot class, right? The extension of the file is class.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, extension is .java probably. No.
Oh yeah, right. Once it compiles, yeah, it becomes class.
All right. So Alex already created it before. I added my comments, and he did the second round of changes. And now we're gonna see the final, the latest final version. All right. So this is a 5 test cases for like from the homework from the previous week, right? And all right, so what we see here, we see only one file is changed. It's my profile. Oh wait, really? Oh, okay. So this is your branch name. All right. So this is your file. So in this case, like if you name it my profile, you need to name it my profile tests.java. You still kind of need to identify it's a test class.
Yeah, guys, when you create your branches, please give them a meaningful name, like what it is about. Usually, if you're implementing some test cases for particular feature, that will have like a Jira ticket or like whatever in the name itself, so you can kind of, by just looking at the branch, you can see like what is that for. Otherwise, if it's not related to any branch, just try to give it some meaningful name, like new whatever page test cases or something like that, right?
Yep. All right, let's go down. So here your before method setup. So you're initializing driver, you're adding the implicit weights, you are going to this login URL, you're adding your email, you're adding your password. So which is obviously you will need it because it's a My Profile page, otherwise you won't be able to access it, right? That's why you are adding this information. All right, so now you're initializing the WebDrive, like explicit weight for this particular button until it will be clickable. Well, my suggestion is like 20 seconds. It's kind of like, I mean, usually I would prefer leave like a 10 seconds. It's kind of like by default, the wait time. Because like if your button is loading more than 10 seconds, it's maybe like kind of like performance issue in this case. But it's not critical, I'm just saying. All right, so you're clicking to the login, right? And then you are finding the avatar button here, and you are clicking on it. And then you are clicking to the desktop drop-down menu. And well, I'm a little bit confused. Let me go here. Okay, I'm going here, right? I'm okay. Let me use your credentials.
Yeah, don't forget it's just a test case, right? Nothing else, so it should be reproducible.
Yep. Oh wow. Maybe you need to disregard my previous comment about the about changing to 10 seconds.
Oh wow,
Yes.
yeah, it's very slow.
Yeah.
Maybe you should do 30. Is it been that slow, guys?
I mean, it wasn't.
No, it worked fine.
Yeah, I don't remember like this slowness. It was just like a couple of seconds maybe or so.
All right, let me open the incognito window. Okay, let me add it here. Let me add it here. Come on. All right, nice. Well, I don't know what was it. It's probably, I mean, maybe something happened in their backend that didn't return the response, but I don't know. Okay, so let me inspect it here. And all right, so this is a, what's the avatar wrapper image? Isn't it this?
It's that button here, yes.
Okay, so you're clicking like, okay, here, you're clicking to here, to this button, right?
Right.
And what you're doing here?
Clicking that profile from
Oh, that one won't work for sure.
Yeah.
Why it's not gonna work, guys? Guys, why it's not gonna work? Line 42?
Well, probably because it's hidden, but it worked.
No, not because it's hidden.
Because the CSS selector, because the CSS selector is using the full how is it called, text wrap.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
Dash something which will be changed after the application is rebuilt and redeployed, as it is React, and it might have, what was that, class name, or
yeah, it's a class name.
has the class's names generated automatically. So it will change the strange UT3 something will be different next time.
I tried to get rid of it, but I failed after I get rid of it and leave, for example, desktop drop-down menu, and the CSS selector doesn't locate this element.
No, but you did it right in line 39.
Yeah.
And this is just in general, guys, since it's a React app, you can see a lot of like weird stuff after the actual name. So we will be using partial classes a lot. Basically, I would say like every time it's going to be like partial class.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So
Could you
just
please maybe leave a comment, Azad?
yes.
So now we're doing code review, huh?
Yeah. So to leave a comment for the string, you just need to move your mouse, like hover over this link and click to this icon. And now you can say, please use partial link match here.
Class match, probably.
Yes, class match here.
How would you do it, Azad?
How would you do? Like you use it here, the same as you did here.
Yeah, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
No, it should. I mean, we can do it right now. It's like 3 seconds, really.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
And you guys using this the dev tools of the browser, right? The same way, just like Control F.
Right. Right.
Oh, I see here. Here it's.
Yeah, you need to add a little bit more because it's it matches two. So
Yeah.
if you add the wrap, then it will be fine. And I mean, it's the first element, so it still should work.
I think it's not wrap. I think it's. Wait.
Yeah. No, the one that we're looking is wrap. It's fine. Yeah, and that's it.
But why it's highlighting the?
No, that's the one we need, right?
No, the one we need is user icon, I guess.
Oh, okay. So you need not the. This is highlighting the block here, right? So you're here referencing for the user, like a second class.
That one, area hidden user icon, lower.
This one.
Lower.
Oh, this one. Oh, okay. But you well.
Well, it actually has a class. Are you sure you need to use the whole thing?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, let's try. Let's try using this user icon. User icon here. Yeah.
Done.
Oh, that's how. Okay.
You can actually drop. There was a question. You can, if there is a space in the class, you can drop one part. Can you please show that, Azad? Just for future references.
Drop what? Sorry, this.
Like drop icon part, for example, in allocator. Just do like dot user. Okay, it's 2 matches. What about dot icon? Probably too generic. Dot icon?
Yeah, 3 of them.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, okay, then user icon, it's unique.
Yeah, because it's using this 3.
But yeah, if you see some space, you can actually drop it. It can get in handy sometimes.
You mean drop it and substitute to the dot, or?
No, just completely like dot. So if you see class like user space icon, you can use either dot user dot icon, or you can use just dot user. That's it. Or you can actually use dot icon.
Okay.
Just those words, right? Yeah, actually, partial class match is not even the best idea here, right? Because can you maybe delete that to avoid confusion? Yeah, you can edit your comments here. just first one should go away. You see, guys, it's actually much easier than you even think, isn't it?
Please us.
Yeah, please us.
Yeah, okay, I'll try to please you.
Please me. Yeah. All right, and here actually I have one more comment here. All right, so your which component you're testing, Alex?
Profile. No,
Okay.
my profile, yes.
My profile. All right, so is this header that you are interacting, is it part of my profile page or not?
No, I think no.
Yeah, so why do you need to click on it then and go here and creating this bench of like locators? That's really hard to do. If you can like go just straight to the URL, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. However, I would at least once I would test that.
I would test that.
If it's actually if it's a part of like main menu test case, then probably yeah.
Yeah, but
we don't even need to have it here. I agree.
It's a main method, yeah. But like for a my profile, just to go, like after you're logged in, you just need to like remove all of this and just to get my profile URL and start your testing here.
Yeah, but how do I?
You still need to log in. You still need to log in, and after line 37, just use a driver get and to this URL. It's the same reason, like it's the same thing that Alec asked me about the PDP and PLP, right? Do you remember when I said like it's like your component? You need to stay strict to your component, unless there's functionality related to it.
Okay, so I shouldn't close. I shouldn't quit the browser right after each test case then.
Yeah,
right?
you should do that. You should do that. I'm just saying that you don't need to manually click here and click here to go to the my profile. So your setup should be this, right? Let's say you're logged in, right? And you're directing here in the main page, and now you just need to go here.
Okay, so then I change that before class, right?
Yes.
Annotation. I delete this last two.
From 39 to 42. Actually, to 43.
But then I have to add to each test case to go straight to profile. That's what I'm doing actually.
No. You don't need to do that because your step to go to profile will be also in the before method setup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, instead of using UI clicking, because you see you now have two more dependencies over there. If for whatever reason locator changes for my profile, which is not even your page under the test, you should not care about that. Yeah. But if it changes, then this test case will break. So you want to avoid, you want to make it short and simple and straight to the point, right? So especially when it comes to preconditions, you want to get there with the quickest way possible.
Okay.
And the quickest way here would be just driver get HTTPS DIN master now sh my profile account profile, right? That's it. Of course, yes, you have to be logged in for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, trust me, there's gonna be a lot of challenges.
Yeah, that's what I was telling them in the beginning about that. All right, so let's move forward. So okay. So this is your first test case, right? Navigate.
Just double checking. So you are saying that clicking on avatar button and then profile button is not in the scope of my profile test suite?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Does it make sense why? or it still doesn't?
No, I thought it's in my scope because this is what we are excluding. It's a scope of sign-in flow.
Yes, it's I mean, it's not sign-in flow, it's a flow for this header.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's this basically, we should have that function, we should have that test case somewhere, but it should be really something like when user clicks like my profile button from the main menu, then user should be landed to my profile page. That's the test case. In this case, you are not testing that, but it's a preconditions for you, right? Before you can even start testing my profile, whatever feature, you should get there somehow. And it's really not important at all how do you get there. It should be as quick as possible. And here you see you need to click that, you need to wait for a section to display it, and then you have this locator which has this React stuff in there. So it's way easier just to navigate using the URL.
I thought that as none of the group testing this and we kind of have to separate all the site functionality between ourselves, I thought that this is included into my scope. Well, if it is not, that's fine. That's even better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about that too much. As I said, there's going to be a lot of challenges on the way. These are just the very basic test cases, but once you start doing something more critical, like let's say purchasing workflow, right? You actually cannot do that like that easy. So it's going to be way more things to do. Anyways, yeah, I need to wrap up, guys. Sorry. So, yeah, have fun.
Alrighty, let's go next. So navigate to profile page test. So basically now you're verifying that the URL will match your pattern here, right?
Yes.
Basically, it makes sense if you will do that clicking to the buttons, and as part of as part of this like header tests. But like here, like if you will strictly go to this link, like obviously your link will be this one, right? So kind of like this test case, it won't be very effective for you. Actually, unless you don't want to verify there's like no redirections, but I mean, only in this case you will need to do that, but after we done this strict get methods, I feel like this like test case doesn't make much sense.
But also I verify logo there.
Yeah, but this is you will need to name your you will need to name your test like verifying the logo.
Okay.
Yeah. This one thing, I can see my trip test. So, all right, so let me go here. Yeah, I don't know why it's taking forever to spin. So you are clicking to the to the trips, right?
Yes.
It's I guess it's this button, right?
Yes.
All right. And all right, so your get URL. All right. Finding the element 12. Get text my trips. Is it an actual class name 12?
Yeah, it's a part of a class name.
All right, let me check. 12 white computer 6. Oh, okay. Very interesting class name. Well, Alex, ideally, what you should do, you will need, I mean, you see, this my trips, it's a title, right? And this unnamed trip, I assume this is a trip title, right? And this is the edit button. And this is dates of your trips, right? And what else you have here? You also have a trip visibility active component, like a small component. And you also see the text for now scheduled servers in this trip. So basically you will need to verify all of them, like all of these parts, because let's say if the application will have a bug when, let's say, I don't know, trip visibility component is not present, right? Your test case won't catch it because it's just looking for the full container here, right? And that's why your test case will mark it as a passed, but actually it will miss this issue. So you will need to be more precise here, and you will need to check like each component here separately.
Okay.
Yeah, does it make sense?
Yes, it does. I was going to do it later, kind of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So this file, like kind of this test case, it's kind of like incomplete. All right. So can see profile info test.
Yeah, there is a button in the left nav profile. So by verifying that clicking this button.
Yeah, Alex, I will suggest you to rename your test name. I mean, you can see my trip tests. I would say my trip test elements are present, or layout test. Yeah, I would say my trips layout test would be the better name.
Okay.
Yeah. It should be like more wide abbreviation for it. Can see profile info test. Contains. So what you're doing here? Can you elaborate a little bit?
I'm clicking profile button in the left navigation. Yes. And verifying that the word profile in the title appears.
Okay. Actual string. Wait, actual string is it your current URL? Oh, okay, so you're verifying not the title, you're verifying it contains in URL, right?
No, the actual string is that element that I find.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, I see what you're saying. All right, so you're basically getting the text from this my profile.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess there should be any more information, but it seems like it's just still loading, or maybe like unlimitedly loading. There's like nothing else to verify, but yeah.
Yeah.
I would say this is a valid test case. Okay, for logout tests. Well, first of all, like logout also not part of your scope, because again, like for logout, you mean like, oh, you mean the from here, right? From the my profile.
Yes.
All right. So in this case, it's in scope of it.
Okay.
But I really don't like this locator, Alex. It's really bad. Let's see if we can find something better here. All right, so it has we have this block, right? It has a class naming item, and under that it has disabled icon. All right, so info menu icon. Well, nothing obvious, right? Nothing, no identification. It's logout besides this text, right? What about? Well, it has a power circular icon, right? And well, we can assume this icon will be associated with logout. So you can do that using this one.
Wait, I'm trying to find what I changed for this. I actually.
Yeah, let me try if it's like to see if it's a unique one or not. Yeah, so this you can use this power circular locator.
Okay.
If I'll click here, I'll be logged out. Yeah, let me add it here.
Okay, thank you.
And again, please don't use XPath locators. We are using only CSS here now. It's a good practice, and in a company that you're gonna work, so there's like a 99% of the chance that you will use CSS locators, not the XPath. Here, add review. All right, so
My recent commit that I pushed after that branch, right? It doesn't reflect my last changes where I changed XPath to CSS.
oh really? Maybe you forgot to commit them.
I forgot to commit them.
Yeah, maybe you forgot to include them to your commit.
Okay.
Just to make sure you're on the same branch, right? Just to make sure you're on the same MyProfile test class branch and change like all your changes that you made. All right, the last one, referral code displayed test. So you're having explicit wait and waiting until this element is present, finding this element. All right, so basically what you're doing here, let me log in real quick. All right, so basically you're waiting until this element is present and you're counting that the referral code is 9 characters. Well, it's kind of like, to do that, you will need to be sure that the referral code will always have 9 characters. To be sure, you will need to have requirements, which will need to identify it will only have a 10, 9, or like, I don't know. Because like if it will be if you generate like 10 characters, like your test will fail. All right. So this is your labeled button. So labeled button, I'm assuming this is this button, right? Copy button.
Yes.
All right, let me actually. All right, so copy icon and underneath, okay. Well, you can probably like use this copy icon as well because like this icon is part of this like a whole button. So you should be safe to assume like this will be like, this kind of reflects the full button here. So just to make sure it's a unique, let me double check. All right, yeah, you can use a simple copy. But if you still want to check the full button, I mean, you can use, well, you can use this class, icon left labeled button. Actually, how many buttons we have here? Let's check. With type submit. Button. Type. Submit. Okay, it's 2 buttons, right? Because we also have a create trip. And let me see. actually inspect it again. Okay, it's right here. All right. Maybe also the role. Well, yeah, you kind of may use this locator by using the tag. Wait, actually, if I don't think I need it, right? Yes. So instead of that, you can just use like element and the role button, because this button don't have this role attribute. So that's why it will be like your locator will be unique. Does it make sense, Alex?
Yeah.
All right. This locator. All right. So we're finishing review. I'm submitting all of my comments here. After I did that, let me go back to his pull request. Right, and like now all my comments, they are actually present on this pull request. And he can go over and see like everything that I mentioned here. All right, so yeah, Alex made these changes and push your changes to this pull request. So basically you will need to push them to the same class, and because you already have open pull request, it automatically will populate here. And yeah, so basically that's probably it that I wanted to talk today, just to go over your issues, your blockers, and to make sure we're on track. Does it more clear for you guys how to like create tests and what to consider like your scope and out of scope?
Yes, it's better for now.
Okay, guys. All right, so let's finish your 5 test cases as Alex just did, and yeah, and we'll all be on track finally. And once you will start to create like pull requests and work on the same classes and using the same files, you will face merge conflicts, and if it still doesn't make sense to you how to resolve them, we will do it all together again. All right. And yeah, and that's gonna be it for today, guys. And see you all. I mean, whoever will go to the meetup, see you tomorrow. But see you on the first day for our online lesson as well.
Will food be provided tomorrow?
What's up?
Will food be provided tomorrow?
Yes, food, drinks. And also some of the gifts from the Try Market. Should be a lot of fun. What's up?
How about beer?
Yeah, it will be there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're lucky, guys.
I mean, it's a like a general thing. Like in meetups, they usually provide wine or beer. So make it more casual.
I'm just saying from the like online people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you record to meetup?
Yeah, we will record it, and we will also maybe we'll stream it, but I'm not sure yet. But we will record it for sure.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, thank you for participating today. Make your homeworks. Yeah, don't be late, and see you all in Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.